Hello, this is Paul Johnson with the Optimistic American. On one of my past shows, I was asked a question about the 1619 Project, and I gave my disapproval not only for the idea, but also for what the New York Times was doing on this particular topic. So I just wanted to take a moment today to talk about why that is and what it was that I was concerned about. The 1619 Project is a project that is designed to try to reframe the United States foundations based upon the date that slavery first came here, and that all of the things that happened since then were simply based upon that slavery, mainly saying that we had corrupt beginnings. Frederick Douglass was a politician and a leader who was an escaped slave who became a great spokesperson for what this country was actually about. Now, one of the things that he did that I found to be fascinating was, as an African American, as a person who was a slave, he refused to buy into the idea that this country was not founded on the ideas that opposed slavery. Now, why? What was his concept? What he basically was saying was that if you look at the Constitution, it is simply a reflection of a greater moral document, the Declaration of Independence. Now, the Declaration of Independence started with those famous words, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, and they're endowed upon by their Creator with certain inalienable rights." His point was, he believed that from our foundations, we were a country that was dedicated to seeing people as equals. There's a lot of evidence for that. In fact, if you look all the way back at the Reformation, if there was no Martin Luther, there would have been no Reformation. Had there been no Reformation, there would have been no individualism. What Martin Luther did was that he had this belief that there was no church or organization that could stand between you and God, that every person was worthy of dignity, and that they had the ability to directly communicate with God, to directly have a relationship with Him. Now, later, Jean Rousseau and others made that idea a secular idea by saying that government owed the same thing to individuals, that each of us as individuals were worthy of respect and worthy of being treated equal by our government. That concept in 1776 was profound. Look, I'm a huge believer in civil rights, equal rights, and human rights, and I'm also a believer in free markets. But if we believe in those concepts, saying that this country wasn't based on those ideas does it damage, because it says that we were just simply based upon an evil intent and no desire to try to do something better, to have an ideal, to have something that we aspired to. The 1619 Project, in my opinion, basically disregards all of that. Besides the fact that it has incredibly bad history, that's not to say that slavery wasn't bad. It was a horrific thing. It was an immoral thing. But that's the question we should ask. Why was it immoral? It was immoral because we believe that all individuals are worthy of dignity. And in fact, if you get rid of that ideal, the one that was in the foundings of our Declaration of Independence, then the question is, maybe the collectivist view says that it is okay. That's what the South was saying. Maybe it can be justified on a moral basis. The moral beginnings of this country was what brought us to the evolutionary point that slavery was immoral and that it was not defensible. Today, human rights, civil rights, equal rights, the ability for all people to be seen as being equal, stems from the foundation of this country. And I, for one, refuse to let it go. I believe that we came from a noble beginning, and I'm very proud of who it is that we are. This is Paul Johnson on the Optimistic American. I hope you have a good week.
Thanks for joining the Optimistic American show. Now help us grow by subscribing to our channel. If you enjoyed the episode, please leave a like and a comment. There is so much more that we have planned, and we can't wait for you to embark upon this journey with us.